And so I want to welcome you guys out to the TV 180 channel. Edgar is sick, so I got a really cool replacement co-host, and his name is Louie Polino, and he's with us today. He's going to be with me. He is the author and director of the trial, which is going to be here at the 180 this weekend. And so quickly before we get into that, I always do a recap. I did it last month of what's going on this whole month down at the 180, and I have it here. So for the month of April, the schedule is as such. First of all, obviously, the trial.
This weekend, April 6th, 8 o'clock. 422 West Gurley Street.
Featuring the band
Crossfire.
That's right. You got to be there for that. It's going to be off the hook. It's going to be a good time. There's a lot of good music, good message.
Man, you'll love it.
And oh my gosh, the acting is going to knock you out. The flyer, I'll throw it up there because we have it. Really cool flyer. Very cool back. It gives a little blurb. So it says 5 friends run into each other. The next thing you know, they're on trial without a defense lawyer.
It's even worse.
And it says, add a prosecutor from hell. What else could possibly go wrong? And then it says lots. So you know some things are going to be going crazy. You know some things are going to be really
out of control.
Out of control. Way to
upside down, baby, to say the least.
Rock music, good message.
Yep.
The friends, bring your friends. The family can come on out. Those refreshments.
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's plenty of room. I encourage everyone who subscribes to this to share this video and bring somebody, because it's a good thing to be involved in. Going on from an epic week, we're gonna kick off the month of April with a huge play. Yeah. And then we're going to go off to on the 13th.
We're going to go to 70s night.
Well, no, that's not until the 20th. So what we're going to do on the 13th is just it looks like bands will play. It looks like 5195 is going to be playing in Higher Ground.
Okay. All right.
And so that's 13th. A normal night starting at 8 o'clock.
Right. Good. We have good music.
Very good music.
Good drama.
Good drama.
Skits. Yep. More skits. Short.
Skits, 5 minutes. Short messages.
Yeah.
They're gonna have that. They're gonna have that done. So that's on the 13th, and then following that, it looks like then on the 20th.
On the 20th.
April 20th, 70s night.
Oh baby!
And check
out
what
that means, don't you? Skinner is back.
Yeah, baby.
Aerosmith is back. That Eagles are back.
That's right. So it looks like Scotty Flitcroft's gonna be playing that. Jonathan DeRoyce is hosting the night.
Oh, really?
So he's going to be throwing up some bell bottoms. That guy's a nut. You know what I'm saying? He'll be dressed out to the tees. His wife too, and there'll be some great dramas, some great music, classic music. It'll be a good time. I
think Clutch and the Convertibles is playing.
I think them and the Dopeless Hope Fiends.
Oh wow, two bands.
Wow, 2 epic bands. And so if you want any information about 70s Night, it's on our website, Prescott180.com.
Right.
Or you can call 928-533-6185.
Correct.
And I'm sure there's flyers and advertising going to be out there. Yep. That's the 20th.
Yeah, that's the 20th.
The 20th. And then the 27th, which is a really
Keep it
cool
rolling.
It's going to be an awesome event at the 180, 422 West Gurley Street. They're going to have the Veterans Appreciation Outreach.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so that's going to be really cool. It looks like it's two showings.
Yeah.
2 showings. So on April 27th at 6 p.m. and then again at 7:30. So if you can't find time to come out at 6:30, or you want to go to the early show, there's going to be another one at 7:30. Right. It's appreciation of the veterans. We want to invite all veterans to come on out, and we can we can give our thanks, because this country
and appreciation. It's pretty cool, man. It'll have some military music. I think they're gonna do some throwbacks on some older like World War II kind of music.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. With what were those sisters called?
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Yeah. The boogie woogie.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, that stuff's cool, man. What was their name? Oh man, I can't remember.
Where's my Google?
It'll come to you. Google it quick. You got your phone.
Google.
But they're putting together a great just a great show for that.
Right.
It's going to be a great message, some appreciation. You know, you do some stuff for the veterans.
You
do something that's military.
4th of July, yeah. 4th of July time, yeah.
Louie is highly involved at the 180. Not does he just on normal nights. He manages all the light effects, right?
Yep, yep.
You got you got smoke machines, you got lighting, you got colors and all that. You're also in a band, right?
I am. Yep. I'm in Crossfire. Does that ring a bell? Hey, wait a minute.
Aren't
they playing
with
the
weekend?
trial?
Yeah. The trial.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
You better know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So Louie has been involved. How long have you been involved in the 180 ministry? We'll call it, but that's not really what we talk about here. But
gosh,
are they the Richardsons? No, it's not the Richardson sisters. Come on now.
No, man.
Now you're just spacing out. I'm gonna have to edit this out, man.
Okay. Yeah, I've been in 180 for quite some time now. I'm gonna say over 20 years. Yeah, and everything from lighting to music to drama, kind of all aspects of it, and have seen lots of different productions. I've written a number of. I think I've written over 40 different productions. I think musicals, plays, Easter plays, Christmas plays, 4th of July productions, haunted houses. There's a haunted house here every year.
Yep, that's right. There is a haunted house here.
And
a lot of people come out. A lot of the same people come out every year.
That's very cool. Yep, that's very good. And then we do a lot of like themed productions in 180, like we're doing this weekend, and then in a couple of weekends on the 20th, I think it is, on the 70s night. That's a themed weekend, and then after that, there's a veterans. That's a themed weekend, and so there's a lot going on.
Andrews sisters.
Andrews sisters. That's right.
I'm gonna put your mind at ease because I know you'll be up all night trying to figure that out.
Yeah,
Google it and Google
tagged it, man. Good.
So
I like it.
So speaking of the trial and speaking of what's going on this weekend and things that you are involved in, so the trial is this weekend.
The trial's this weekend. You're not going to want to miss this.
6th of April.
April 6th.
April 6th.
422 West Gurley.
It's going to be something nobody wants to miss. If you don't normally come out to the 180, you're going to want to come out to this. Bring somebody. Bring the family. It's going to be a good time.
If you like good drama and good music, and you mix those two into one production, and man, you got a winner.
It's like peanut butter and chocolate, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
I love peanut butter and jelly. It's the historical day today. I think. When they were created.
Look into the camera. Tell them why they should come on out and why they should come see the trial.
Don't miss this weekend the trial, 8 p.m. 422 West Gurley, because you're gonna enjoy the music, you're going to enjoy the acting and the drama, you're going to enjoy the storyline is captivating, the storyline is intriguing, the characters, each one has their own story, and they're on trial. Why are they on trial? I can't tell you. You're going to find out. And it all ties together in the end. It's like, oh, really? You're going to love it.
Come out and see it. And I just want to thank Louie once again. Come on out and see the trial.
8 p.m. Saturday night. Free entry, free refreshment.
And we're back here, back in the drama room. I didn't tell you that. That's where we were with Louie. But I'm back here. Now I'm back here with my friend Nate Rush. And Nate Rush, he is one of the faces that you would see on the stage here at the 180, and he's been with us. He's done a lot of music. He's got some music background, and I asked him to come out here to tell us what Jesus has done in his life and just a little bit about his backstory. So let me introduce you. Here he is. This is what he looks like. Yes. Now we can go home.
All this.
Come this way just a little bit.
All right, you want to get closer.
Yeah, there we are. We get cozy, you know. You guys smell each other's breath. We just had some
bread, you know?
wonderful pasta.
That's
and some roses. Just a quick outthrow. You know,
little
thanks,
plug.
roses. I still got some garlic in my tea.
Yes,
thank you.
Get some royalties on that.
Yeah, maybe. I doubt it. Probably won't even get any free bread. I paid for that, but someone did. But anyway, so but Nate, you've been around for quite a while.
Yeah.
So how long have you been saved, or how long have you been around the 180 and the church?
Let's see. I got saved in 2009, so it's coming up on 10 years in September. And yeah, man. I mean, as far as when I genuinely got saved, it was in September of 2009. I honestly can't even give you a date. I don't know the date.
I feel that. Yeah, I'm the same way. I always think it's got to be somewhere in July or June or something of 2000. Yeah. So yeah, out of these people that know the exact date and time, I envy them.
Yes.
Man, I wish I could remember, because it was such a life-changing thing.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about your life before you got saved. First of all, I just want to know, where are you native from? Where are you from?
From here. I'm from Prescott. I say Prescott, but I'm
Prescott. He's from Prescott.
Yes. I was born here.
Were you?
Raised here.
All right, me too, baby. That's what I'm talking about. We should be able to have the last vote on anything that happens around here. That's what me, you, my mom, and my mom, my wife, and my daughter. We are all natives. We get the city council has to come and ask us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should we do this?
There's going to be a vote. We got to have an odd number, though, right?
Yeah. So native Prescott, very rare,
Yeah.
I mean, you must have been born back at YRMC, just like me, back in the back where the dumpsters are now. Before they added on the big stuff.
Yeah, the real hospital.
Where they boil the water for the babies. No, but that's cool, because there's not very many of us.
No.
I mean, more and more, I guess. They're all Prescott Valley, because they're all born in Prescott Valley now. Yeah, they weren't born back in the day. My grandpa said that before they built the hospital, it used to be all waterlands. They're like marshlands, because that little that they have a bubbling spring there. And he said the people, they would flood it, and he's from back in the day. They used to grow rice back there, he said.
No way.
That's what he said, but hey, who's to know?
That's crazy.
That is crazy. That's crazy. And then when they built that new parking lot, they found those Indian bones in there, but it was actually the Orientals that used to work the tunnels for all the motels.
Right.
Because Prescott's got a history.
Yep.
And that history, and in that history is the life of Nate Rush. Very cool.
Something like that.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And so little do people know, we actually we did some music in the same little group, maybe not exactly together, but the little group. And so you were involved in music.
Yes.
You had you from the back alleys of Prescott, but you had some ambitions, and you had you grew up here, and just like anybody else in anywhere we're at, we want a better life than what we have.
Yep.
And so tell us a little bit about them times and growing up in Prescott and how you were before you got saved.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, I grew up, with my influence from my brothers and my dad, and they all loved music, and so I grew up, and my first tape I ever bought was the Fat Boys, and that was like one of my favorite
the Fat
tapes.
Boys. Yeah,
right.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that was like really what triggered it. Like, man, I love this music. I love hip hop. I love rap, and it kind of just became a dream at a young age. Starting messing around writing these nursery rhymes, so to speak, and then when we started trying to record and actually put some stuff on wax, as they say.
Sure.
A good friend, a mutual friend of ours, Mondo, he got a little bedroom studio, and
he was laying it down.
And that was it, man.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, let's do it. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it from the small town, And our first little project we put out, we actually recorded on a karaoke machine.
Nice.
And then played from the karaoke machine to a computer and burnt it to a disc. We had to press play and run it. Yeah, it was pretty ghetto, but it worked.
It was done.
Yeah,
done.
We got business cards. We're like, oh, we're official now.
Where's the label?
For
How come they're not signing us up?
The Little City Hustlers.
Yeah,
that was the name.
Oh, really? Oh, that's hilarious. That's so cool.
Yeah, and so, and then we actually start making some noise, man. And it was that project that you worked on. We worked on together, obviously, before we were saved. Started making connections with people.
You thought there was a future there.
Yeah.
But that future, the world of music, the world of exposure, it has some pulls.
Oh, yeah.
It has some hooks in it.
Oh, yeah. So, our parents, the saying was, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. But for us, it was, sex, drugs, and hip hop. It was in an era when people were started talking about drug use in rap. You had sipping on some scissor and people talking about getting high, and it really influenced. But with that comes a cost. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, you can't getting high all the time and stay functioning. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it begins to affect everybody, money wise, and it gets messy real fast.
Drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does get messy, and so. We have a dream. You had a dream. You saw an avenue where you could use your talent, and you move forward in that way, and then it winds up kind of getting bogged down. And what did you get involved in? I mean, what was some of the things that you got involved in? You saw, obviously you're talking about drugs and stuff. But can you be a little bit more specific at this time? Or?
Well, yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I was our main thing was liquid codeine. Yeah. Liquid codeine was where it was at that time. This is the early 2000s, and but we were mostly just pharmaceutical drugs,
right?
OxyContin, MS Cotton, Percocets, anything we could get our hands on. That was really it. And
of course, you had a prescription.
Yes. This from Dr. Dre.
Straight out of Compton.
Yes.
For your rheumatism.
Yes. But and then that progresses, man. You start messing with ecstasy and
it's gotta go somewhere.
coke and everything, and next thing you know, I'm snorting up pills with one nostril and coke with the other.
Yeah, that's how it works.
It just got, as I said, messy. In my mind, it was kind of like I would justify it. This is my life. And that was the funny thing about being a rapper, so to speak, is that it was like I could justify, well, that's what he's doing. I'm still living my life as a wholesome being over here, taking care of my brother's kids and helping my mom pay her bills, and and so I would try to separate the two, and honestly, I was living two lives.
Oh wow!
I mean, just for example, I called my aunt when I actually did get saved, and I told her, "Look, I'm like, Aunt, she was saved. I'm like, hey, I got saved. I gave my life to God." Da, da, da. And she says, "What? I thought you've been saved for years."
Oh.
Because when I was around my family, I wanted them to see me as this upstanding dude, and I would, I wouldn't cuss in front of them. I was taking care of my family. Wow. In essence, and so it kind of gave me this an alter ego, I guess you could say, where I could do whatever I want, and it was like it wasn't me.
Yeah, right.
Justifying it in my own mind, and
no one could hold it against you.
Yeah,
as you were doing this, and they couldn't see it, but obviously there was a draw.
Yeah,
and it was hard to get away from.
Yeah, definitely, man. And no, eventually it does. It starts wearing down on you. You start getting weird.
You're right.
You start changing.
Yeah.
And and then I had life, family things that completely exploded. And at that point, I kind of just said, all right, I don't care who knows what I'm doing.
Right.
My brother's dying, and my mom's on meth, and my family's completely falling apart. So the music and everything is just like, well, it's not gonna fix my life, and I knew it wasn't gonna fix my life at that point. So it was like, well, I don't care. I started getting weird, man.
Right. Wow.
Like turned off. You know what I mean? I lost my conscience. I lost emotions, and it just people were getting worried about me. Good friends, good family were I would just disappear.
Wow.
And
so you had a decent network of people that loved you.
Yeah,
and just like a lot of kids today. I mean, there's that subculture that we were kind of like the beginning of. It's huge now.
Yeah.
And I mean, absolutely. A lot of kids hide. I know for a fact that they're fronting.
Yep.
that they're good kids. They got their parents believing that they're doing everything right. But you know, if you get a glance at their page or the texts, or you catch them after hours somewhere or where they're not supposed to be, and it's a totally different story.
No, absolutely.
And so that's, but the problem is that sometimes we can't even help it. Now it is telling us where to go.
Yeah.
And before we were using a little bit of the scissor or doing a little bit of this to have a good time. Now we're having to do it because we have to.
Yeah. No,
We're
absolutely,
slave.
man. I remember this one time, you know, we got a bunch of Percocets and we're getting ready to go shoot guns in the middle of the night, like high on Percocets. And
just like normal people would do.
Right. And so we get out to where we're heading, you know what I mean, in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, I lost my pills.
Oh, wow.
And so I got into my friend's car and they fell out of my pocket. I knew where we were. So I'm like, let's go back to that parking lot. And they're on the ground and they're crushed. And I remember I'm grabbing these pieces of broken pills and I'm getting as much as I can so I could break them up and snort them. And I remember thinking to myself, like, dude, I'm like a junkie right now.
Wow. When did it all change, and how did you get out of that? I mean, because there's a lot of people out there, you know, we do a recovery meeting here at the 180 called Celebrate Recovery.
Yes.
And there's a lot of people that, you know, they found the ability through Jesus Christ to be free from addiction. But they have to come to that point. The first step is to realize you have a problem. And man, sometimes that first step is not just a little step. It's a huge climb. Yeah, so absolutely. How did you find that, you know, your way to freedom?
So the guy I was rapping with at the time, you know, we were starting to get, you know, some pretty big contacts and doing some shows with some big people, big names, production, things like that. And then we finally get this deal offered to us. We were going to move to Houston, take this deal with Universal and some multi-platinum producers. They want us to be the front runners.
Sure.
And he calls me, said, Nate, we got the deal. We've got this in front of us right now. And I'm like, okay, well, let's do it. And he says, I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm like, what? Like, this is what we worked for.
Right.
Forever. And he's like, bro, all these guys that we're doing shows with that have platinum and gold selling records, they're just as miserable as us. They're chasing the same money, the same dream, the same girls, the same drugs. He's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And that was kind of a reality check for me. And that really was kind of a turning point. And I said, well, if you're not going to do this anymore, if you don't want to do it, I'm not signing. And
it's kind of saved your life, really.
I mean, it was.
I mean, yeah, you could have had. I mean, don't get me wrong. Now, Nate Rush is a good rapper, and I'm really actually surprised that, you know,
we have made an agreement. We're going to do this together. And I guess maybe if it was loyalty or, you know, and also, I mean, you know, I knew what God had called me to. I knew that God had a calling on my life. We would do shows, and I remember I would have these moments where we're on stage and it would be like, I'm not supposed to be rapping to these people. I'm supposed to be sharing the gospel with them.
Really?
And I would have these moments and it would be like the whole thing just stopped and I would hear it in my head and it was like, like get out of my head.
Oh, wow.
And so when he said that, that's literally what it was like. I was at a fork in the road. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And I knew what I needed to do. And so in essence, man, because I could have signed the deal without him.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But
you did it.
I didn't, and it saved my life, man. I don't think I'd be alive today.
Yeah. Just another number.
Yeah, too much
another
money.
Wikipedia page.
Yeah. Another, you know, Nipsey Hussle, rapper, famous, you know, got shot yesterday. I think it was the day before yesterday.
That's true.
You know, and it's like, what is that fame? What is the money? What is all the things he did for his community going to do now?
Right.
You know, and
so how did that change? How did you find that escape? I mean, now you're stuck here. I mean, now you're not making the deal. Obviously, I'm just assuming that you're not saved at this point.
No.
And so how did life continue forward?
It got worse as far as drugs went.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I started partying more. It was kind of weird. But then I just kind of came to this point where it was like God began to deal with me and people in the church that I knew, you know, stayed in contact with me. And it's kind of a crazy story, but, you know, one day with the same dude we recorded with, Mondo, we're getting ready to go to the gym, and his mom says, well, you know, do you guys want to go to the gym or you want to go eat some Chinese food? And she's like, I'm buying. So we're like,
Oh yeah, well,
yeah, free food. You know what I mean?
That was easy.
So forget the gym, bag that.
I could sweat, or I could go get me some chili sauce and then still sweat. You know? I go get
Give
free
me some
Chinese.
pot stickers. I'm good.
Chili sauce is hot. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so that's what happened.
So free Chinese.
She buys us the food, but she told us before, you got to ride with me. Okay. So I'm not thinking it's Wednesday night.
Oh.
And she said, well, now you got to go to church with me.
That's Georgina right there.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
shout out to Georgina. Yeah. She's a wonderful lady.
She hustled us.
Oh, that's the original. With all that experience, you thought it saw that one coming.
Yeah, right. I was probably high.
You weren't on the game. She totally took you. You wind up at the church.
Yeah.
Hearing the gospel again.
Yes.
Because you grew up in that atmosphere.
Yeah.
You knew the truth. And the truth was the same, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Is that, Jesus died for me, and he died for my sin. Yeah. I knew I was guilty. I knew everything. I couldn't tell you what he said the entire sermon, but I knew at the end when he said, Jesus died for your sin, that it was for me. Right. I knew it was personal, and that I was guilty, man. And that was it. I had to make a decision.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You had to make a decision.
Yeah, and he pulls the altar call, says, you're here and you're not right with God. I didn't raise my hand. I didn't do anything. I'm fidgeting. I'm going back and forth. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. And then finally I just said, you know what? I'm going to do this. And I got up and I was walking up and I said, God, if you will give me life again, I will serve you for the rest of my days.
Oh man, that's cool.
And that's what he did, man. I bowed my knee to Jesus and I turned from my sin, and I have life in me. It's not just a pulse. You know what I mean? I'm not just existing for a pipe dream, and it's, I have a purpose and a meaning in this life, and it's through Jesus Christ. And God has blown my mind, And I had to work through some things, man. And God helped me, man. I can laugh and it's real.
That's cool, man.
You know what I mean? It's not drug induced.
Yeah, right. So you give your life to Jesus. Where has God taken you? What have you been able to do?
Well, I mean, I've been able to be a part of 180.
Yes.
And we've been able to do rap hip hop nights here, and see people get saved and respond to Jesus Christ.
And just a quick shout out. I mean, don't mean to cut you off. You're in a good part, but I think the history of hip hop. We're supposed to be doing a night for the history of hip hop.
Oh, right.
Coming up here soon. Yeah, and I figured you'd be involved in that.
Yeah, definitely.
It sounds like something would be really cool. But yeah, so you've been able to be involved in 180 and reaching for people that were in states just like us.
Absolutely. And I'm nobody special, and the fact that God could use my life to make impact, that's more than just money or drugs or what you can get from me or I can get from you. It's what Jesus did for you and can change your life, and to be able to make any sort of impact like that. I mean, that you can't put a price tag on that. Right. You can't put no record deal in place of that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. If it's one person, then that's worth it.
And now, you also, on top of all that, you have a beautiful family.
Yes, absolutely.
Did you ever think you would have a family?
No, I wasn't. I was never going to get married.
Nate Rush wasn't a family man?
No, I was married to the game. That was my mentality.
Wow, okay.
I was like, no, I'm too selfish. I knew I was too selfish to get married. But then I got saved, and God helped me.
So a complete renovation, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your whole thought process, mind, priorities changed because Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And that life, having, local Arizona success in the game, rapping and doing some stuff, how do the lives compare?
Oh, man, they pale in comparison, honestly. Yeah. My worst day being saved and being where I'm at is 1,000,000 times better than my best day not. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Got you.
I can have a horrible day, but I know I'm saved. I have a beautiful wife, beautiful family, 2 daughters at home, and I get to be a part of something that is not just for now. We're making an impact that's beyond this life,
right?
And you can't put a price tag on that, man. You really can't. At the end of the day, man, it's like that. My life can mean something like that, and I could be used in any capacity at all. It's like, man, I'm in for that, and thank God for that, man. I don't deserve it.
No, none of us do, man. That's a wonderful story, man. I appreciate you coming and sharing that with us.
Yeah, man. Don't believe that you're gone too far. If God could use my life or use Rich's life, he can use yours. He can change you. It doesn't matter how low you are. If you're addicted, if you're not addicted, you're broken and you're looking for an answer, trust me, it's only in Jesus Christ, because that's who's going to save you. He's going to be the one who gives you peace. He's going to be the one that gives you purpose in life. and ultimately forgive you of your sins so you can make heaven your home. And don't believe or buy into the lies that you're always going to be an addict, or that you can't change, because you can, because I'm living proof of that. Rich is living proof of that.
Absolutely.
And come to the 180, and that's where it starts.
That's right. Come out to the 180. Come out this weekend, because they have the trial that we had. Louie was earlier.
Yep.
He's the director, writer, and your uncle.
Uncle Lou.
Oh, I didn't.
Yes.
We had a little bit of family connection there.
Right.
I didn't realize.
That's right.
Come on out to the 180, 422 West Gurley Street. Check out the trial. Starts at 8 o'clock. Come out, see that. It's a rock drama. It has rock music and acting. It's going to be a very good show. High quality. You're going to love Matt Sanderlin. I'll tell you what, he's going to be cray.
Yeah.
And so come out to that. Like the channel. Subscribe. We always try to tell you what's going on at the 180. Try to bring the lives that are involved here at the 180, the people behind the scenes. Hit the bell, ring it, do whatever you got to do. I'm not into all that.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. Blah, blah, blah. My wife's always telling me, you got to tell them to subscribe. Notifications. But Nate Rush, watch out for him on the history of hip hop. I'm sure you're going to be dropping some, man. I'll tell you what, this man, he's got a talent. And I'm glad he's on our side. So thank you.
Yes, man. Thank you
so
brother.
much.
Yeah, man. Likewise, man.
It was awesome.
Let's see it.